We get to sit here with Kim Barton. She is the executive director of the Share Center, which is located in Spring Branch. Kim, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming to just share a little bit. What does the Share Center do? What is its purpose?
Sure. Well, first of all, Pastor Adam, I appreciate you inviting me out here. Share Center, first, it stands for Sexual Health and Reproductive Education. As you said, we are located in Spring Branch, but we do serve Blanco down into northern San Antonio and east and west of us as well. We provide free services for typically families that are experiencing pregnancies and oftentimes unplanned pregnancies. Mm-hmm. And it's our hope that through our medical services, we have some medical services, which I'll talk more about, prenatal and parenting classes so that we can educate families as well. And then we also have a boutique with all the material assistance items they might need, from diapers and wipes to cribs and car seats. By going to the classes, then they earn points to be able to use in the boutique. And so really our ultimate goal is that being able to provide them with support, with education, that those families that might be undecided about their pregnancy and might be considering abortion, that hopefully they would choose life, knowing that there's support for them, being educated to know that this is a child at the moment of conception, which is what we do believe. Yeah. And knowing what abortion, the risks of abortion. Oftentimes people choose abortion because they are fearful, they're scared, they don't know what else to do or where else to turn, but it's also because they don't understand what abortion is. And oftentimes you'll ask them, well, tell me about, what do you know about abortion? They're like, I don't know, I just know I can't have this baby. Mm-hmm. And so you sense the panic in them. And so we really hope to just kind of educate them and just walk them through the journey and help them. Ultimately, it is their decision. We're not there to push them one way or the other, but we want to educate them and support them.
Yeah. In my brief time with you, I've learned that you are passionate about this. It seems God has clearly called you into this role for the last 10 years. Explain to me, just how did God call you into it, and why are you specifically passionate about this?
Sure, yeah. Well, funny enough, in my church, I opened up a bulletin one day and it said, if you're interested in helping pregnant women, show up to this meeting. And that was about 11 years ago, I guess now. And so my background is in counseling. And so I decided to show up to this meeting, and we were offering a ministry that specifically was walking through pregnancy with women. And one thing led to another. I started educating myself. I got to know the pregnancy centers around us. There was one in Boerne, one in San Antonio, northern San Antonio, and one in New Braunfels as well. Next thing you know, I was not only volunteering at my church, but one of those pregnancy centers reached out and said, hey, could you volunteer with us to be a liaison between our church and the pregnancy center, which y'all have a liaison in Carla Clark, and Christina Bramer also. And so I started doing that, and they saw that there was a need in our community. And so it's totally a God thing. You know, one thing led to another, and within just a couple of months, we had 8 local churches that had said, why don't we just open our own pregnancy center here? And started raising money for us. So in 2016, it's actually our 10-year anniversary this month, we started the pregnancy center. We started raising funds through our annual celebration banquet, which we're going to have our 10-year annual one this year in March. And truly, I personally was called to it, though, because in my 20s, I had a roommate who unfortunately became pregnant and did not feel she was able to parent at that time. And so she did choose abortion both times. And I'm going to be real honest with you, Pastor. I don't remember my role in any of it. I didn't take her. I know I didn't. I've even talked to my mom one time about it. She goes, no, I remember that happening, and you called me and you asked me what to do, but I didn't know about pregnancy centers. I didn't know how to support her. I didn't step up to the plate and say, hey, we can do this together. I assume I must have felt like it wasn't my business. And I think that is oftentimes what happens to people who even, they do feel like I used to say, well, I'm pro-life, but I don't want to tell other people what to do. And I think that is something many people struggle with. I had a relative that said, when I told them that, they said, so you're pro-choice? And I said, no, I'm pro-life, but I just don't want to tell other people what to do. And she's like, that's pro-choice. So with all of that, it caused me to educate myself. And I too didn't really understand what abortion meant. And when I started really educating myself, what is happening during an abortion? When is a child a child? I had to really reflect on that and pray a lot about it. And now I am, yeah, as you said, super passionate, love my work, and know that God called me to it.
So take us inside the walls of the Share Center. You see a lot of young women come in. I'm sure you see some young men come in also. What are some of the most common fears or questions that you hear when people enter into your office?
Sure, yeah. So yes, we do minister to both men and women. Obviously, we have more women than men, but we do definitely try to figure out where is the partner in this relationship. Oftentimes, society tells us that it's her rights and her body, which we respect and we do understand. She's the one carrying this baby, but he needs to play a part in it. He played a part in it to create that child, and he needs to have responsibility in taking care of that child. And so we do encourage them to try to get dad involved in the classes and such as well. But when they come to us, we're obviously going to talk to them about what brings you here today. You know, about half of our clients have an unplanned pregnancy, but we do have half of our clients that are what we term as likely to carry, meaning they're coming to us happily married or happily in a relationship, happily pregnant, and they may be coming to us just for our parenting classes or our material assistance. So we want to first figure that out, like where are they and where's their decision-making process going. But when we talk to them about, so why are you considering abortion or why are you undecided? We're going to talk to them about parenting. What's telling you can't parent right now? And oftentimes that's going to be financial difficulties. It's going to be, you know, I didn't mean to get pregnant with this gentleman. Like it's a friend, or
Sure,
it was in the moment. Things happen. But I didn't mean to parent with him, you know, so I don't see a long-term relationship with him. So that's oftentimes is that relational component. It may be, we have several of them that like, I already have 2 children. I just can't do this. You know, really those are some of the most common ones. I will say, I think that society often focuses a lot on, well, what about the families who have healthcare? What about mom? You know, what if she could have healthcare problems? You know, that is such a small percentage. Depending on the statistics that you look at, less than 10% of abortions are due to medical concerns, and specifically, a very small percentage are due to the mother's imminent death. That's a real small percentage, and I don't have that percentage off the top of my head, but another one is in the instances of rape. Oftentimes people will say, well, what about women who are raped? We're talking about less than 1% of all abortions are due to that.
Yeah.
And that's true at the Share Center too. We have had a handful of women who have come to us and said that they are there because they were raped, but that is not the predominant. And I think that as a society, we often focus on those smaller percentages. Those are important, of course, and I'm not minimizing life in those cases either. I still do believe that those are still children, regardless of the standards that they were conceived in. But that's not typically what we're seeing. What we're seeing are circumstantial things, finances, relational difficulties. You know, they don't have a job to be able to support their child, things of that nature.
Yeah.
So that's typically what people are struggling with.
For sure. And what we see in the Bible is God views life in the womb as precious. You have gotten to see some of that firsthand. Do you have some stories or testimonies of how you have witnessed that life in the womb is precious?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll share my very first patient who came to us and was truly considering abortion. And she specifically told me, you know, I really need to figure out how far along I am, because in her mind, she said, I feel like if I'm 4 months or beyond, then I will keep the baby or, you know, parent the child. But before that, it's not really a baby. And that's how she felt it. For whatever reason, 4 months was her mark. So she came, we did the ultrasound. She was only 8 weeks along. So of course, in my mind, I felt like, you know, she could possibly choose to abort. And so we did the ultrasound and we were able to get a beautiful image of the baby. You know, with our ultrasound equipment, we're able to detect that the heartbeat actually beats 21 days after conception. With our equipment, with our ultrasound machine, we can audibly hear that baby's heartbeat at 5 weeks and 5 days.
Wow.
And so she was already 8 weeks at that time. And so I remember I was standing on her left-hand side and she was holding my hand. And that baby's heartbeat came out loud and clear. And I just remember the left eye tear dropped down her face. And it was so impactful. And for every woman, it's different. For every man, it's different. What part of that ultrasound speaks to them. But the heartbeat definitely is one of the earliest indications of life. And so seeing that, her see that baby and see that heartbeat, hear that heartbeat, and react like she did as we were finishing up and, you know, finished talking to her about our support and everything. And she was walking out. At the time, we had a little a baby hat and booties we would give out to the moms as their first gift, recognizing that life. And she took it and she actually held it up to her belly. And
Wow.
she said, look, baby, your first gift.
That's cool.
And I just remember going, because we really didn't know at that time, she hadn't stated like, oh, I've changed my mind, or I know what I'm doing, and we don't want to really push them, like, so what do you think? But she said that on her way out. And I remember, of course, we continue to pray for her because anything can happen. She can leave our office and go back to life, and something changes her mind. But thankfully, that baby was born, and I think he just turned 8 last year. So
Praise God.
Yes, absolutely. So that was just a personal moment. We've seen lots like that, but that was my first opportunity.
Yeah. What a cool story.
Yeah.
I love that. For anybody that is hearing this and listening to this, and maybe God is stoking something in them or igniting a fire about this type of topic in our culture, how can the people of Blanco fan the flame of your ministry?
Sure. So we have a couple of different opportunities. First of all, I want to tell y'all, because First Baptist already has, I just found out that y'all have chosen us as a local mission and are going to be gifting us financially. And that is tremendous. Obviously, financial contributions, as I mentioned, everything's free to our clients, but it's not free for us to provide the service. Another opportunity is, though, I mentioned the liaison role, and we have Carla Clark here and also Christina. But if somebody wants to be kind of a connection between the church and the Share Center to help keep people informed of what's going on at the Share Center, I'm sure that Carla and Christina wouldn't mind having extra help in that way. But we do have volunteer opportunities at the Share Center. Once a month, it's first Friday every month, we have an orientation that everyone's welcome to come to. I do ask for people to give me a call first, just so I know how many. But if people want to get involved, that would be a really great way, because we have lots of different opportunities for people depending on their level of commitment and time. And so it's first Friday. Our next one is February the 6th, and it's from 10 to 11:30. So they can come out, they'll get a tour of the center, and they'll hear more specifically about our services and what we do there. The other opportunity we have coming up is March the 5th. It's our annual celebration banquet. Y'all, First Baptist had a table there last year, and we'll have a table again this year. And so there'll be more information coming out about that. But since it is our 10-year anniversary, we have some real special, we're looking back at we're calling it a decade of hope. And the stories that shaped us is what we're calling it. And it's looking at our client stories and who we are, why we are who we are. It's because of our client stories and what they bring to us, and how impacted we've been because of that. And so we would love to have, we can have 2-3 tables full of First Baptist family. We would love to have them come out. The last thing I did want to mention, though, is we're coming out to you guys this Thursday, January 22nd. I understand that y'all are hosting one of our classes. So besides all the stuff that we've talked about today, we actually go out, our nurse goes out to the public and does classes for youth and for parents as well. And so y'all are hosting our Be the Louder Voice this Thursday from 8 to 3, I believe is the time. And y'all can get more information from y'all's website. So I appreciate that opportunity to share with your families as well.
Well, I applaud you for following what God has put inside you, the conviction He has put on you. Your role is not easy. What you are doing is, I'm sure, emotional at times. And so if I could give you a standing round of applause, I would today. But I just appreciate you coming in and sharing a little bit about what's happening at the Share Center. Kim, appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, Pastor. Thank you so much.